Welcome back to Mac Talks of Football, and it's match day 13 in the English Premier League, and it is going to be another very exciting weekend. The talk of the town at the moment is only Manchester City and their bad form, and whether it's gonna continue as well. There are a lot of other exciting factors, exciting games as well. The biggest one, of course, it is Manchester versus Liverpool. We are Manchester City versus Liverpool. We are going to talk about that as well, and we're going to make predictions for other games as well. So let's go ahead and start. The first game, it is Brighton versus Southampton. It is 5th versus 20th. Brighton, they have been the shock factor of the season. A lot of us expected them to, have a drop. A new manager, Fabian Husler, coming in, and he has not managed before in the outside of Germany. This is his first time, so everybody thought that they might have a drop, but they have been spectacular. They are tied on points with Arsenal and Chelsea at 5th position, and they are at home. They are playing against a Southampton side who have been abysmal, to be very honest with you. 20th in the league, just 1 wins in their last 5 games, and there are games when Southampton are doing really good, but they end up losing, and I think that is the reason why they are struggling so much. Going away to the MX Stadium, Brighton in such confidence. It is a Friday night game under lights. It is it is written Brighton's destruction all over it. I think it will be a very a fun game for the Brighton fans, and I think it will be a very tough night for Southampton fans. I'm going for a very convincing 3-0 win for Brighton. We start Saturday with a Wolves versus a Bournemouth. It is a 17th versus a 14th. Now Wolverhampton Wanderers have had a turn around in the last month. They are undefeated in their last 4 games. They have got 2 important wins that has brought them out of the relegation zone for the first time this season. They are playing against a Bournemouth side who unfortunately have had the opposite of them. Instead of going forward, they have gone downwards. 2 defeats in their last 2 games, winless in their last 3. So it is going to be a very interesting game. I think both of them like to go forward. They are both attack minded sided. Both the managers like to play exciting football, attacking football, and Wolves being in such a good form and being at home, you can expect goals in this game, and I think we are gonna get a great game of football, but I just don't see a result, a winner out of this game. I think we're gonna see goals. It's going to be a good game, but not a winner. I'm going for a 2-2 draw between Wolves and Bournemouth. The next game is Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. It is 19th versus 10th. Crystal Palace, to be very honest with you, they have been one of the most disappointing teams of this season, and they continue to be so. Like the score that they have, the depth that they have in the score, they really should not be here. But unfortunately for them, it is the same. Like they are not really able to do anything. It doesn't matter whatever they try, it is not working for them. They are welcoming a Newcastle side who, the thing is, they have been very inconsistent. If you look at their last 5 games, 2 defeats, then 2 wins, and then they lost last weekend as well. So that is why they are not really been able to go and challenge for those European places. They are down at 10th, and I think this could be one of those games where they go end up losing again. This could really be one of those games, but I'm not gonna go with that. I just don't see them losing against a Crystal Palace side who are all over the place, and you know how important this place is. They are still in in with an outside chance of getting into those European places, and they cannot really afford to lose any more points, and I think Newcastle are gonna win it in the end. It will be a close one, but I think Newcastle are gonna win it 2-1. The next game is Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich Town. It is 17th versus 18th. Now Forest, they are doing amazing. People are going to say, look at the last couple of weeks where they have lost just before the international break, and then last weekend as well. But they are 7th after 12 games. Like nobody thought they were going to have such a good season. So full props to them. I mean, you cannot really criticize them that much. They are playing against an Ipswich Town who are 18. They are undefeated in their last 3 games. They got their first win as well. So they are, their momentum at Island Road is quite good at the moment. It is going to be a very interesting game. They are going away to Nottingham Forest, and Forest are going to look at this game and they're going to see that I think that this is the game where we can get back to our winning ways, because you expect to win a game against a promoted side anyway if you are a Premier League side, and especially when Forest are having such a good season, and I think they are gonna get them, to be very honest with you. It will be a very close game. It's going to be filled with goals, but I think we are gonna get a winner. I think Forest are going to be the win. The home side are gonna win it. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Nottingham Forest. The next game is Brentford versus Leicester City. It is 11th versus 16th. Brentford again. I like as I said before about Bournemouth. They are one of those teams that are really all over the place with the performances. Like they have such a good score, they have such a good manager, but they are not really able to play with their potential. I said Brentford are going to finish in the top 10 in my prediction, and I still believe that they have a great couple of weekends and then they go ahead and they mess it up. They have not won in the last 3 games, unfortunately for them, where they should have won at least one of those games there. But I think this weekend could be the one where they go ahead and win it. They are playing against a Leicester City side who have sacked their manager. It has finally happened. I said this was one of the worst appointments by our club in managerial terms. Steve Cooper, I really could not believe that they went from Maresca to Cooper. I said if you are a betting man, you should put the order that he will be the first manager in the Premier League to get the sack. He became the second manager just before Eric Ten Hag, because I really don't think Ten Hag was going to get the sack. Steve Cooper was my first choice, but in the end, it has happened. Leicester City have sacked the manager. In this game, they don't have a manager. I think it's going to be one of their academy guys or somebody who's going to take up for this game. They are still looking for a new manager. They are going away to Brentford. It's always a tough place to go, and I think Thomas Frank knows that this could be the game where they can easily get the 3 points. And I think Brentford are going to get the 3 points. And unfortunately for them, I think unfortunately for Leicester, I think they are going to be humiliated here. I am going for a 3-0 win for Brentford. The next game is a London derby, and now it is a Declan Rice derby. It is West Ham United versus Arsenal. It is a fourth. It is fourth. Sorry, it is fourth versus 10th. Now, like this game is so important for Arsenal. They have gotten back to winning ways. Last weekend they were really good. Then they were amazing in the Champions League, and you can just see that the Arsenal of all, the one that everybody was feeling for the last couple of seasons, is starting to look back. We Arsenal have their main players back. Odegaard is back. Martinelli was really good in the midweek. Saka is on a different level. I think at the moment it's between him and Salah for the best player of the league. One of those two could easily win the could be the player of the league at the moment. So it is really looking good for Arsenal. They have their defenders back. The fullbacks are there. They are going away to West Ham. West Ham been quite inconsistent, but they are going to be really up for it. As I said, it is a London derby, and now it has sort of become a Declan Rice derby. That transfer has sparked up a rivalry. Like it was a London derby before, but it was not that much of a big deal for either of the club because both of them hate Chelsea more. But now because of this Declan Rice, so the fans have really started to hate each other up. So it's going to be a very interesting game. The fans are going to be up for it, but I just think Arsenal are going to go ahead and they're going to get the job. Then it will be a tough game, but I expect Arsenal to win it. I'm going for a very close 2-1 win for the Gunners. The next game is Chelsea versus Aston Villa. It is a third versus eighth. Now, a couple of weeks ago, this game could have been a very tough game for Chelsea, but at the moment, I mean, Chelsea have been amazing. What a turnaround by Maresca he has done for his club, and they are on an amazing form, just a point behind Manchester City, tallied on points with Arsenal and Brighton. It is really looking good for them. They are playing against an Aston Villa side who still are a really good side, but they are winless in their last 4 games. They drew against Juventus midweek in the Champions League as well, and unfortunately for them, I just don't think they are going to get the win. It will be a very tough game. It will be a very close game. Aston Villa are really going to give everything they have, and I think Chelsea are going to they are going to experience that it's a tough game, but they are somehow going to nick it because they are at Stamford Bridge. I think Chelsea are going to win it. It will be a very close game. I don't expect a lot of goals in this game. I'm going for a 1-0 win for Chelsea. The next game is one of the most hardest ones to predict. It is Tottenham versus Hotspur versus Fulham. It is 6th versus 9th. But there's just a 1 point difference between these two teams, and both of them are so inconsistent. Like if you look at Tottenham's last 5 to 6 games, it is win lose. You really don't know what they are going to do. They will go they will destroy Manchester City and then they will get battered by Ipswich. Like you really don't know which Spurs are going to come up. And Fulham are the same. They have 2 or 3 weeks amazing winning games consistently, and then they go for the next 2-3 weeks being a disastrous mess. So you really don't know which of those teams, which of those performances these teams are going to give up. But both of these teams like to play attacking football, like Ange Postecoglou, Silva. Both of them like attack minded manager. And one thing you can be sure out of this game are these goals, and that is why I'm going to stay with the goals, and I'm not going to go with any result. I'm going to stay on the fence, but I expect goals in this game. It could go either way. Any one of them could get battered, but it could end up going to be a very good game. I'm going for a 2-2 draw between Spurs and Fulham. The next game is Manchester United versus Everton. It is a 12th versus a 15th. United, they have a new manager. They had the first game ended up in a draw against Ipswich. They came back. They took the lead in the Europa League game. They somehow managed to win that game. When Bodo Glimt went 2-1 up, you just thought that okay, this is the banter era still there, but they somehow managed to come back and won that game. Now they are playing against an Everton side who themselves are, to be very honest with you, they are so inconsistent. This is another one of those games because this is Amorim's early days. So you really don't wanna be so much critical, but you really don't know what to expect from him. It is going to be at Old Trafford as well. Their fans are really gonna be up for it. I think it'll be a very fun game to watch, and I just don't know. I just don't think they are gonna get the win. Unfortunately for Amorim and Manchester United, I think because they have played on a Thursday night and it was such a tough game, such a mentally draining game. I just think Everton are gonna take advantage of that, and Sean Dyche's teams are really love to frustrate the opposition. They are really good defensively. He knows he just has to sit back and make sure that they don't concede. And I think they are really good at it. I think we could end up seeing another draw for Manchester United. I am going for a 0-0 draw between United and Everton. And we end the Premier League this weekend with one of the biggest games of the season. It is Liverpool versus Manchester City at the Etihad. It is first versus 10th, but the fact of the matter is Liverpool have a 8-point gap over Manchester City. They have been amazing this season. They are winning games from the losing position. Last weekend, I mean, they were down 2-1, and basically Southampton helped them a lot with a lot of silly goals. But then Mohamed Salah comes in clutch and scores those goals. After that interview happens where Salah says, "I have not been offered the contract." So that is still hanging over the club. They defeat Real Madrid in the Champions League. That was really important for them. But that Salah situation is there. They are playing against the Manchester City side who are all over the place. I mean, Pep Guardiola and his team. You have not seen City like this for a long time. They are on a 4-game. They are winless in their last 5 games. 4 defeats. They were 3-0 up against Feyenoord in the Champions League. They somehow messed it up and the game ended up at 3-3. They were lucky that they did not lose that game as well. So the confidence at Manchester City is at an all-time low. This game could go either 2 ways. Manchester City and Guardiola come in hard and they shock everybody and they destroy Liverpool, or the other way around, which I am going with. I think City are going to get better. Like, be very honest with you, I just think that they are Slot and Liverpool and Anfield, they are really up for it. This is the best opportunity for all those years of hurt where they even on the last day, because of point goal difference and whatnot, all the tighter races that they had with City and they were not able to win it because of just 1 point or 2 point, all the hurt that Klopp went through. I think this is going to be the weekend. This is going to be the Sunday where they take out all those frustrations, and I think they are going to batter City. I'll be very honest, we could see a 5-0 6-0 type of a defeat for Manchester City. I just see that, to be very honest with you. But I'm going to keep it under the belt. I'm going to be reserved. I'm not going to just go out and say that stuff, predict that, because it might not happen, but it could really I see that because of the way the confidence that Manchester City are in, because they are nothing is working for them, and Liverpool are on a different situation at the moment. But I'm still going for a 3-0 win for Liverpool. And that's it from me in this video. These are my predictions for the Premier League match day 13. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions in the comment section below, and make your predictions as well, and we'll see whose predictions are better, mine or yours. That is it from me in this video. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this year, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.